Now, full disclosure, I played the mod for Skyrim. This was based off of. Really enjoyed it. Excellent, excellent mod. Really, really cool setup. But I don't know. We'll see. Ah. One more minute. It is a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. It is like 34 degrees Fahrenheit. It is 1 degree Celsius then, if you need those. 1 through. All right, let's start this off. Looks great. Graphics look really good. It was developed by a core team with 3 people over 4 years. Mystery adventure with multiple ending, reward, thoughtful conversation, explore, not brute force. The fate of the city is in your hands. Yeah, this is not a beat 'em up. It's a figure 'em out. Okay, that's what intro they put on this. Let's see.
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind. But all I found was some loose change. So,
This looks a little bit nervous.
wanna tell me who you are?
Yeah, we'll go with this one. That's... that one's close enough. I'm rather pale. Oh, you want to know who I am? Rungren.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river?
No.
What's the last thing you remember?
Searching for ancient... We can be an archaeologist. Searching for ancient ruins. You have a military issue firearm, but only 10 bullets. You'll have to use them judiciously. I know what you want. One. You know what? I was on the run from the law.
Really?
Let's go with fugitive.
You know what? Don't answer that. I don't think I want to know.
Fair enough. I shouldn't have told you that.
Look, you've just been through a trauma, so I'm gonna forget you said that. But you owe me, and I need a favor.
Sounds fair.
There
Go
are
on.
some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find a guy named Al for me. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone in after him, but he made me promise to stay here, no matter what.
All right.
There's no way I'm leaving without him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him.
Sure.
If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please?
Let me ask some questions first.
Oh, of course. Sorry, I don't mean to be pushy. What do you want to know?
Okay, where are we?
You really don't remember? We're in Italy. This river is the Tiber.
Okay, the Tiber River in Italy. Okay. Who is Al? And do I need to be his bodyguard? And then I can call him Al? Who's
He's
Al?
the guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess
How
not.
many people have you
But
pulled out the river?
maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. Once you find him, that is.
Okay. So what can you tell me about the
Not
ruins?
much, really. But imagine what you might find in there. Priceless ancient artifacts. Al...
Why are you looking off to the left? You trying to think of a lie? Oh, now you're going to look to the right, are you? All right. You tried calling for help?
What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long, long way in any direction and never find another soul.
I don't know. Are you an idiot? So what's your story then?
There's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean?
No? You're not even going to tell me your name?
Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to
Well, I
you.
did just admit to being a fugitive.
All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
All right. Well, thank you for saving my life,
You're
Karen.
welcome. Always happy to help. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
That's all the questions I had.
So you're ready to go look for Al?
I am ready to go look for Al.
Thank you. The entrance is just past those columns behind you. Please, hurry. Oh, and he left this here. But I think you'll need it more than I will.
Flashlight? Go look over. So, oh, there's the button. Okay. One of those. So we'll take it. On this little... Graphics look good. Okay. Enter the ruins. How is there a fire going? Or search for clues for Al's whereabouts. I can hold down the shift button to sprint. Yes, yes. That moves things on a little bit quicker. Lightsaber. Yes. Nah, not working. All right. Okay. Lower the flashlight, yes. Ooh, let's read the note.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground.
Okay.
Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise.
Okay.
The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain. For this shall be their final resting place."
That's not cute.
Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? Could people have survived down there, against the odds? It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not back in an hour, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation,
Okay.
or
A warning. Okay.
Al Worth.
She saved me by pulling me out of the river. I was apparently floating down it. Al is the guy she pulled out of the river a little bit before I got there. Then he went into the ruins. And, oh, there is no sanctuary. And she's not looking for him because he made her promise to stay the heck out. Oh. Well, that's cool, isn't it? Well, that wasn't too hard to find. It was a trap door. You just stand on it. Were they showered in gold? Kurhik Esni? I don't speak Latin. Latin is a dead language. It's as dead as dead can be. It killed off all the Romans. Now it's killing me. Yeah. Yeah, so. So, based on the thing down here in this ancient city, Potense, a young Roman woman in a pose of lamentation. Can't expect these other ones though. Okay. Mosaic on the floor. It looked like he was trying to leave. The gladiator? A Roman gladiator mid-stride. Could have made a gladiator flee. Being showered in gold? Oh, he fell over. Okay. Oh, that looks like a legionnaire. Me. I kind of wonder if they're saying something about goodbye. Should have had a Latin translator pulled up, but I had no idea. Young Roman woman. Looks like she was begging for her life. Okay. That's true. It was a little bit more like porcelain sounding than, yeah. Maybe it's fake gold. Fool's gold. Okay. Nequio movere. I don't know what these words mean. Stop speaking in Latin. 5 to quick save and F9 to quick load. Alright. Just because it gave the instruction. Well, F5. Get that little symbol down there in the corner that we're quick saving. Alright. Let's move along. Vigilabat. Vigilabat? A Roman military commander attempting to scramble away from something. Doesn't quite sound like porcelain, but okay. Roman legionary, state of terror. Let's see here. Interesting. Right? The Forgotten City is the name of the game. Forgotten City. So we're right down here. So who lit these fires? Te supplico mi repariri. Roman woman who's been praying for help. Okay. Sorry. Oh. Hanging golden statue. A golden statue of an old man wearing modern clothing. This must be Al. But how is that possible?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, you'll suffer the same fate I did. I spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out. The inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning.
Okay.
Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
No. I'm going to the portal. I choose life. Young Roman woman in a state of panic. Oh, this is destroyed out here. Yum prohibe. Let's this game again with Latin translator up, see what all the whispers are saying. That would have been a good idea. Me adiuva. Me adiuva? What is it, me adir? Some conjugation going on there. I don't know what it's saying though. Roman man on his knees. He's begging the gods for mercy. Let's start one more time. Potensne mi audri. Okay. I bet there's includes some interesting thing. Me, May, and Adiuva. May Adivia. Ah, I got you. I got you. Well, it's got a lot of questions. Through a wormhole. Apparently, I'm not being spaghettified. It'd be a completely different game if it was. Right. I know what you're saying. Okay. That's a cool mosaic. So what's going on here? Right.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
Wait, are you speaking English?
What? I'm speaking Latin. You are too, although your accent's a little strange.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you did there. Changing the subject like that. Nice try. But I'll ask again. Who are you, and what were you doing in the shrine? Yeah, you know, agricultural goddess of springtime? You're not from around here, are you?
No, Mr. Clean, I'm not.
Just done it again. You're a sly one, aren't you? One more time. Who are you, and what were you doing in that shrine? No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head?
Would I be able to tell you if I
All right,
want?
friend. Everyone's welcome here.
I mean, really.
We sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from exactly? Hey, not so loud. Just say
Okay, thank you.
land you in trouble here. If you haven't heard, his cultists burned down half of Rome.
All right, so it's under the reign of Nero.
Business. I heard Nero executed some of them, but a lot of people are still angry with them, even down here. So, if you're one of them, keep it to yourself. But
Okay.
listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So, let me make this nice and simple for you.
Okay, that'd be helpful.
Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's
You become gold?
it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so I guess I'll let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
All right, lead the way.
When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
Like that, I can chap eat just to
23
follow
of
him.
us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out. But it's just big and dark enough to get lost in, if you're not careful.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
I'll talk to you
This
later.
old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it and her, if I were you. She's, it's not my place to say.
Okay.
Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want. As long as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
There's a crazy old lady.
Shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia.
Okay.
She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo.
Okay.
Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and...
Ah, I can understand it now. Who are you?
This central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the village.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
He's
Yes.
asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen.
Greetings.
My name is Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
You know what?
Follow me.
Lead the way.
The only thing you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws.
Yes, a decimation. I know what that is.
To be executed by the other 9.
Yes, that's a
No one
decimation.
had done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the
Yeah.
crimes of the collective.
Yes.
We call it decimation.
Yes, I know.
If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock. Because the Golden Rule is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. Who's up these stairs?
That may be an impressive trinket, but you're still a barbarian.
Okay. I'm gonna say magistrate. I don't care about you. Right now, I'm like, I just came to this Roman world. It must be him up there. General, tell us.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Rungren. I'm Rungren.
A curious name to match a curious accent. But I digress. Something about your demeanor gives me the urge to caution you against doing anything, shall we say, unlawful while you're here. Is that understood?
I'd kind of like to...
Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago.
Look, it's been
Indeed. More
beautiful.
importantly,
Beautiful.
consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months.
Bubba.
22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin?
Can't say I have.
But I, until I came here. But the reason
It's an
for
impossibility.
This miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule.
Okay, that's not the golden rule, but we'll go with it.
We've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now?
Karen sent me. Is she
Stop them. Our
Personifa?
doom is assured. I know that's a lot to take in, and you look like you have questions.
Yeah.
Please, ask away.
All right, I got the questions to ask, but it says the ad's starting. So y'all might be These questions will be available later. All right. So what counts as a sin here? Sin's kind of a loaded word. Sin means missing the mark. Like if you're shooting for the bullseye with a bow, an arrow, and you fire the arrow and you don't hit the bullseye, you have sinned. I know that's anyway. That word gets it's got a lot of baggage with it. I don't think people really understand exactly what it is, but we'll find out what they say.
Intelligent question.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying?
Sin.
Insulting someone?
Sin.
blasphemy,
Sin.
trespass,
Sin.
trying to escape,
Sin. I don't know.
robbery,
Sin.
infidelity,
Sin.
suicide.
I don't know.
As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome.
Okay.
It is only by offering the gods
Pax
the proper
Romana.
respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea. What is legal isn't always moral, and many of your laws and customs are considered barbaric where I'm from. That's true. I'm going to go with that one.
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights
Yes,
of
and those
our
are great.
citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across the Mediterranean and beyond, from Gallia to Judea. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of the color of their skin or their sexual preference. Can you say the same?
We won't crucify anybody for stealing.
They are given food rations, and when they are wronged, they have the right to bring the guilty party before the magistrate.
Yeah?
Our laws forbid treason, murder, assault, and rape, as well as theft and arson, and so on. No other civilization in the world is so advanced, and you have the hubris to call us barbaric?
They do allow for slave ownership. I know in a few different ways. Spoils of war, you could take a slave for Rome.
Of course. What else would we do with those
Prisoners of war,
who
yeah.
would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. I do not see the harm. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their fathers and husbands. You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down
That was Nero.
Rome last year? It's hard to blame the people for being angry about that. Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could hardly unite all these warring tribes without a disciplined, formidable legion. Well, right now, you're a long, long way
Very true, sir.
home.
But what I'm saying
I've
is,
made my pronouncement on the subject. Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist, whispering blasphemous and treasonous lies.
well, aren't y'all dead then?
I would be keeping a close eye on them if I were you.
Okay.
You see, in my search for a way to save...
Why did she
people,
send me?
I learned of an ancient ritual to Proserpina, the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. It's said to open a doorway in time, so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past.
Correct.
And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. You don't belong in our time, do you?
I'm from 2,000 years in the future. Not quite. Not quite.
2,000 years? That is unfathomable. Please,
Yes, sir.
tell me, in your time, what did you see? What had become of us, of this city?
Okay, well, you don't want to know who's running Rome now.
I
It all been gold statues.
1,000 times. But it still breaks my heart to hear the truth of it.
Yes. How does the ritual work?
All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I stumbled across instructions.
Okay.
I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, some sacrifice is involved. Usually that means wine or food, or in some cases a live animal.
Okay.
In this case, the sacrifice is rather more costly. The life of the person performing the ritual. I don't suppose you saw any sign of me in the future?
I don't think so. Not you exactly, not with the armor you're wearing, but I did see.
I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's going to cost me everything. You'll try to make sure I don't need to use it, won't you?
Possibly. I'll do my best.
Suppose that's all I can ask for.
So, why can't you investigate?
Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around asking people questions. You're new here, and it'll seem perfectly normal. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not earned me any friends. I fear I may not even remain magistrate after today's election. The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. You shouldn't have that problem, though, unless, of course, you get off on the wrong foot.
I don't think so. Fair enough. Do you have any suspects?
Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that you can't see it for what it is?
Sometimes.
What
I've been there.
Here is a fresh pair of eyes. The less I prejudice the independence of your investigation, the better.
All right, fair enough. I'm not going to worry about the why can we understand each other. I don't speak Latin. If I do this, will you help me get back to my own time?
If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem should take care of itself. Let me see if I can explain. If you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the golden rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you should be flung back to your own time, having changed the past for all of us. Make sense?
Okay, well, sure. I think so. That's all the questions I had.
Ah, good. So, are you with me? Can I count on you to figure out who's about to break the golden rule?
We'll try. All right, I'm in.
Wonderful. Now, I need you to investigate the city, talk to everyone, help them if it'll win their trust. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to leave. Figure out who the culprit is, and as soon as you have a name, come back and tell me immediately.
Okay. All right, I'll get started.
Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by visiting Lucretia at the Shrine of Apollo in the Forum.
Okay.
I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right.
This will prioritize the new quest showing its... I'll see what I can... I'll get right on it. All right. So, I can press tab. So, main goals. The main goal is to figure out who's going to break the golden rule. But right now, I got to go talk to Lucretia. She's a stranger. What on there?
Are they?
Ave. It's a gladiator getting some. I think I saw you in the hallway, Bo. Trying to run away. If I tap X, I'll get a guide toward your objective marker. Oh, cool.
The great
Proof of a
majestic.
degenerate mind.
All right.
Keep an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess,
Any news about Scintilla, Navia, or Kabash?
no sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have a newcomer.
Yeah, I stopped walking.
Richly dressed fella. Funny accent, too.
A traveler from a faraway land, then?
Yes.
Seems that way.
Then let's make sure he feels welcome, shall we?
Of course, priestess.
Okay. Okay, it looks like a few people have already been turned in here. Interesting. See what's going on with the Shrine of Apollo. All right. I sneezed. Ugh. Hey, Lucretia.
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Julia. She was a good woman.
What
She
happened?
was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and demand. I guess you don't value your friend's life that highly." Anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's no way I can do that down here with the golden rule.
Yeah.
So all I could do is come back here and just watch her die.
So you're gonna go break it by kill that guy?
Apologizing. And now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that snake's cruel black eyes with her dying breath.
Well, did she get bit?
Well, unless you have the power to bring someone back from the dead, there's really just one thing you can do.
Okay.
Get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day.
How do you
or in
know?
the next hour. And I will not allow this to happen again. I don't care how you get it, but you have to make it happen. Because if I lose another patient this way, I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that genetic comforter and scratching his eyes out.
Okay.
Then you'd better get me that silphium quickly, hadn't you?
All right, she doesn't have anything on her. Did you check for snake bites? 'Cause I don't think a snake can break the golden rule. Inspect. A large stone statue of Apollo, the Roman Greek god of disease and healing, among other things. Barbaric
May I
metal
help and
equipment.
keep you safe?
Oh, yeah. Get out of here. Okay, I can take it, pulled apart into wedges, freely available to whoever wants it. I'll just leave it here for right now. But Roman recipe for bread. examine that. Generous pinch of yeast, a pinch of salt, 2½ cups of warm water, 1 pound of flour. Pour the water into a mixer bowl and dissolve the yeast. Add the flour to a separate bowl and gradually add the water and salt. Knead it until the dough isn't too sticky or floury. Cover the dough and leave it in a warm place near the oven for an hour so that it rises. Bake until the crust is golden and allow to cool. I'll leave that right now. I'm not trying to steal everybody's stuff. Stone mill. Make flour.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Okay.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
Yeah, why don't you save her?
Certainly. All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Okay. How would I come up with that?
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard, and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
So you're price gouging over life-saving medicine. What's wrong with you?
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
The whisper says, take it. Do you hear that?
What?
I whisper.
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
Okay. What happened to Navia?
She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again.
Okay.
I digress. Do you want this Sylphium or not? Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
So what do you think about the golden rule?
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here.
Where else are you going to go?
I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Okay.
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet. Thank you, friend.
Who are you going to vote for?
I mean, Centius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
Let's talk about something else. I'll be going now.
Another time.
Yeah, I may talk to you in a second, but I want to look around. True and valuable for various afflictions. I'm not going to steal it. I'm going to put it down because stealing, everybody agrees, breaks the golden rule. So what's your story, man?
Ah, back again, I see.
Yeah. So what's your story?
How did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Where are we going? Let's hear it.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave. Fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, hoping to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking.
Okay.
The captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You chose the girl. You chose the cart, didn't you?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
So you took her with you after all?
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something because everything went black. When I came to, I washed up on the riverbank, not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Commiserations.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you, there must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I could just figure out how to get it out of here.
Do you know a way out of here?
No. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Thanks, I'll keep an eye out for him. I'll be going now.
Very well. Another time.
Right. Just shopping list. Things to buy once I've escaped. A villa on the Aventine in Rome, a 2-horse chariot, a seat on the Senate, a 4-horse chariot, villa on the Bay of Naples, a 10-horse chariot, 12 sleigh girls, pale and plump. We're just going to leave that right there. You can... Oy. Oh my gosh. I can hear you. I can hear you. Where are you? Okay, that's Ares, God of War. Rome. Mars. I'm just going to leave that here. Okay, let's get out of here.
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius.
That's the guy I was talking to earlier, right?
Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river, and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but...
Is it true that if you were good, you get to go to Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
Something like that, but...
If I die and go to Tartarus, because they say I've been bad.
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley. I promise.
Thank you, Galen. Thank you.
Now, I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, alright?
Alright, Galerius. See you then.
Hey, man, what's up?
Ah, it's you again.
Yes.
You're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind?
So, what's your story?
Well, it's a long one, and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
I have time.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men.
Yeah.
My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young, and it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were.
Oh.
And what they wanted.
Yeah.
I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many. Because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead.
That sucks, Bubba.
And they left me alive to see what they'd done.
Okay.
Still burns whenever I think about it.
Sure it does. Sorry to hear that.
Well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved.
Look, she gave a good fight for a long time.
Then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out.
Okay.
See, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place, and I started my life over again.
Hey. Glad things worked out in the end.
I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me.
Well, crap.
See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bit for himself.
Yeah.
Of course. He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began.
Yes.
Don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting, and he'll get his one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away sometimes.
Sure.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Do you know a way out of here?
As much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it?
One way of putting it.
Sentius' daughter went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out.
Figure out what
If anyone
happens.
knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
So what do you think about the golden rule?
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
So what do you think about the election?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
All right. Well, I'll be going now.
All right. See you around.
Okay. What about this poor fella over here?
Hello?
Hello? What's your story?
My name's Doolin. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
What for? What'd you do?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Okay. Did somebody think you were going to steal?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Is that all?
They said I did it. More than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
All right. A liability?
Yes.
Okay.
They said I have to live here now. And gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you? You think you could read it for me?
Possibly. Ah. Magistrate Sentius to Dulius. That's Dooley here. I am writing to you in relation to your incorrigible antisocial behavior arising with your obsession with an alleged lost treasure. While I am sympathetic to your plight and the passing of your guardian, Hannibal, some weeks ago, I wish to impress upon you... Hannibal? I wish to impress upon you an important message. The treasure you seek does not exist. Given your memory limitations, it seems likely you simply misremembered. More importantly, since you have, on several occasions, been caught trespassing, including around the cisterns, which are strictly off limits to all citizens, I have reluctantly come to the conclusion that you are a liability to the community and must have your freedom limited, lest you break the golden rule. It is my hope that this letter will assist you to remember why you are incarcerated, should you experience further lapses in memory. Okay.
What does it say?
All right. It says they caught you trespassing sometimes, but they lock you up from breaking the golden rule. That's why you're locked up. They're afraid you're going to break it.
My treasure.
What is your treasure? What treasure are you talking about, Dooley?
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then...
How did that not break the golden rule?
It was very sad.
Was it natural?
He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady.
Oh, okay.
She's a nice lady.
If you give me the key, I can try to find out what it unlocks.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust.
That's good advice.
But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Let me talk to the magistrate about getting you out of here.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Okay. Maybe it's time we had a new magistrate. I don't know if I want to say that. Like, had a new magistrate or break you out. I think both of those are terrible ideas.
Galerius? He's nice. I like
Galerius. I can get Galerius.
And everything.
Okay.
If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Just that it was way up high and very precious.
I'll see what I can do. Now, do you know a way out of here?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
That's not what I said. I asked if you know a way out of here.
Oh, please. I hate it here. It makes me very sad.
I understand, Bubba, but there's stuff we got to take care of. What do you think about the golden rule?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Maybe if he did kill somebody. Let's talk about your treasure.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me.
Okay.
He said,
Skip line.
If anything,
Yeah, he hit it.
all I remember
Right, they put you in there. The priestess lady. Okay, fair enough. I'm going now. Bye, Dooley. Relax.
Hello. Have we met before?
Yeah, Dooley, we have. And I'm going to be going now, okay? I didn't want to talk to you. There's a piece of paper on the floor there. But...
Help! You have to do something.
what's going on, lady?
A man arrived in the bath. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's going to break the golden rule.
Who are you?
Fabia, but now's not the time. Are you going to help or not?
Yeah, I'll get right on it.
He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in his empty shrine when it's over.
No. Maybe we shouldn't meet in there.
What? We don't have time for this. I have to go.
Never mind, I don't know why I said that.
The shrine is collapsing.
See?
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her!
Yes, it did.
Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl!
He's too busy to talk right now. I can't move. Are you a statue? Greek statue of a woman. Let's inspect this. Greek statue, probably of the goddess to whom this temple is dedicated. Perhaps a local Greek resident should know more about her. Perhaps.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
I don't know a Quinctius.
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius.
Okay.
Terrible crimes against the Empire.
Fair enough.
So
Not here.
If you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood?
Got it.
Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place?
Why don't you put that bow down and you can come in and see for yourself?
Oh, how very welcoming of you. You want me to let my guard down, is that it? You're not going to get your claws into me.
Fair enough.
I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
Oh my gosh. Wait, what's a mystery
Oh,
cult?
don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me. Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quinctius did, those days are numbered.
Okay. Got the wrong idea. We're not cultists.
You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
We're not keeping it a secret. We're all trapped in here.
So you admit you're not allowed to leave?
Oh, you dumbass. It's not that we're not allowed to leave. We physically can't leave. There's no way out.
Threatening me is not going to help you. But in any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me.
Oh my God.
And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
It's not a mantra. It's a warning.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
They were once people who were turned to gold as punishment.
You lot are practicing human sacrifice too.
Oh, God. We didn't turn them to gold, and God did it. And we don't know which one.
Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our God told us to do it. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However, you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quintius is. Do not waste it.
Oh my gosh. What is it going to take for you to let this go? Gold? Take all the gold you want.
Gold? I don't care about gold.
Ugh.
You don't seem to understand the situation, so let me make it abundantly clear. The only thing I care about is carrying out my duty to execute the cultist Quintius. I have spent many exhausting months tracking this arsonist through cities and villages, roads and forests, bribing stubborn travelers and peasants for leads.
Okay.
At times, I was so bone-tired I could have sworn I'd approached the brink of death. But still, day and night, I pressed on for the glory of the Emperor.
For Nero?
So,
Really?
See, I know he's here. Turning back is not an option, and right now, the only thing standing between me and my triumphant return to Rome is you. So, for the last time, are you going to tell me where he is? Or do I have to put an arrow in you and ask the next person I meet?
What can you tell me about Quintius?
Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur.
Okay.
The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burned half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process.
Thought that was the Christians. How do you know he set fire to Rome?
All I know, all I care about, is that the Emperor
okay.
is guilty and wants him dead. The details are not my concern. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
I have no idea.
Then you're of no use to me. Do you have any last words?
Jesus Christ, you're an idiot.
Aha, I knew it. Now it's my turn to tell you something.
Alright.
Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
Okay.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
See? Alright, I gotta run. You moron.
Whichever god is responsible for this, stop this.
Oh my gosh. Whoa! Oh, I'm dead. Okay. I jumped off that and just died because I fell. Let's continue from the last save. Oh my gosh. That guy's a jerk.
Salve.
What's up, Virgil? Okay. That's a good name.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil.
Okay, Virgil.
On a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met under better circumstances.
Yeah. I noticed the graffiti. Why does somebody think you're a sinner?
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
Oh, okay. I see.
And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagus, you expect a bit of hostility. The Batavi are not known for their tolerance. I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
Sorry to hear that.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Do you know who's writing the graffiti?
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person.
Okay.
If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one God, and that he considers my nature a sin. Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Well, let me look into it for you.
What? Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
Let's see what I can do. So, do you know a way out of here?
I wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But
okay.
I tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the golden rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
What do you mean?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Noviomagus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
So what do you think about the golden rule?
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me, like it's distinctly human. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care, which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I think so. Yeah.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers. The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
Okay. How do you remove a god from power?
Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
Yeah. Who are you going to vote for?
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Anything I can do to change that?
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
No. I'll be going now.
Nice to talk to you.
Okay. So.
Greetings and salutations. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I.
Okay.
And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals, trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious design.
Very curious, yes.
Distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India.
Okay.
And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you come?
I'm from beyond the edge of the known world.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them.
I don't want to start right now.
Much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Perhaps. That's what you say. What do you think about the golden rule?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It is how our gods operate.
Why do you say that?
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld.
Yeah.
When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one.
That's true.
Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up.
Yeah.
Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left.
Fair enough.
So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely brought it into focus.
What can we do about it?
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, avoid doing what you would blame others for doing.
Yeah. Sounds simple enough.
It does, doesn't it? But it is not enough for us to do this alone. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough.
Yeah.
Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
I know. Seen it happen.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the golden rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Sure. So, do you know a way out of here?
Not so loud. What are you playing at?
Do you know a way out of here? Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
No. Last attempt?
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
They're all long stories. So, it's not as if I'm going anywhere.
You are witty. I like that.
Yes.
Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape?
Just wondering, yes.
Natural after all.
Yeah.
And scaling the chasm wall is out of the question, for it is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
That's true. I think we can do that. Why hadn't anyone done that yet?
They have. I am getting to that.
Oh, okay.
There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends.
Okay.
So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place, and so I say it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Thanks. So, do you have any idea who's threatening Virgil?
This is troubling, is it not? I am afraid I have no idea. It is ridiculous though. Virgil is a fine man. But my young friend Fabia confided in me that she saw someone leaving graffiti on his shop front last night. Perhaps
Okay.
you should ask her about it.
I'll try. So, who you gonna vote for?
My friend is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus.
I think most people
I
are.
would not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong way. But of course,
So, what's your story?
my story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
No, look. How did you end up here?
A good question.
Yes.
A very good question indeed.
Thank you. Answer
I
it.
would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
Did you wake up by a river? Why don't you tell me what you remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and droning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I
Okay.
rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy.
Sounds fun.
Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to this. This
Okay.
time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
Yeah. That seems to be the pattern I'm hearing. So you floated down the Tiber.
Indeed. I'm lucky I was carrying a little extra weight. I believe it kept me afloat. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger.
Can you tell me about
I went to
this?
find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave,
For his
and
campfire.
discovered the
Okay.
trapdoor temple, and here I am.
Let's talk about something else.
You like.
I'm going to be going now.
That our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Sure. Dyes for coloring clothing. These appear to be have been extracted from plants and insects. Okay.
You look well, my Sartorian friend.
Thank you. That door's locked. This is a temple door that came through. Yeah. She was... You said that before. Where are you? Huh? Okay. Well, there's an aqueduct over there. Whose temple is that? Looks like somebody's standing out in front of it. Okay. Nope. Read this. I'm locking myself in. Don't try to follow me. Nothing good will come of it. Nevia. Alright, she's locked herself in. You know what? I'm going to take those. That's not, didn't say steal. It just said take. And I've got some arrows. Explore the city a little bit. All right, we'll take that too. Plus 246 denarius. As long as it doesn't say steal, I'm going to take it. To survive, we must all be kind. Corrected to we must all be wise. Corrected to we must all be obedient. And finally corrected to we must all be question marks. Okay. It did. And there's a guy back there did say seek a bow. See, I know, I hear you.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to
Hi.
life under the golden rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
I'm fine, thanks.
Ah, another stoic, perhaps. We all need something to help us through times like these. We've all been where you are now. I remember when I first arrived. I used to lay awake at night contemplating the big questions. Why am I here? Is there a way out? What is the golden rule, and who or what is responsible for it? I still don't have any of the answers, I'm afraid. I don't think anybody does. But I'm happy to share with you what I've learned.
I will listen, cutie. So what's your story?
Here, in this place, the magistrate has me earning my keep by cleaning and pruning the gardens. It's not quite how I expected my life to go.
How do you have a
I
sunburn?
used to live in a lovely villa on the banks of the Tiber. I was even betrothed to a handsome young man from a prominent family. But long hours of menial labor for the good of the community has its own charms too.
I guess you fell into the river? How did you end up here? Blacked out, woke up by the river, somebody pulled you out and sent you into the ruins?
Oh, much the same way as many of the others. When the fires came to Rome 7 months ago, my family and I fled for the Tiber, hoping to escape on a barge. We were among the fortunate ones with enough coins for passage, but unfortunately, there were a lot of desperate people, and they boarded before we could depart. A squall broke out, and I was pushed overboard. The last thing I remember was the water, rising up to hit my cheekbone. I woke up by the river, near that shrine.
Yeah.
Stumbled across this place.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
Oh, that's all right. I'm sure it's all part of God's plan for me.
Are you part? I don't want to call her out on that and like, hey. God? Don't you mean the gods?
Oh yes, of course. A slip of the tongue.
I don't think it was, babe. So about something else. What do you think about the golden rule?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. I think about those words a lot. I'd like to think that if we all love our neighbours as ourselves and
Yeah,
do to
so
them
she's a
what we have them
Christian.
do to us, then we'll all be fine. But on the other hand, I was always taught the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and that all of us are born with a tendency towards sin.
Yeah, that God thing wasn't a slip of the tongue.
Is it true? Are we born with a tendency towards sin?
Seems that way to me.
If that's true, then sooner or later, things are going to end badly for all of us down here. Unless, of course, there's some kind of divine intervention.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be some intervention, all right.
I wish I shared your faith.
Okay. So, do you know a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. Although, I did once hear someone gossiping down at Aurelia's tavern about a possible way out.
Okay.
I don't put a lot of stock in such rumours, but if you're desperate and wealthy,
Which I'm not.
you could look into it, I suppose. If that doesn't work, then I suppose we're all stuck here until the gods decide our fate. I hope it works out.
So, you are a Christian.
Please keep that to yourself.
I know. Shh.
I know you're not from around here, but things are very difficult for us right now. There was a terrible fire in Rome last year, and our emperor decided to make us its scapegoats.
Mm-hmm.
There were executions. It was horrible.
Your secret's safe with me.
Oh, thank you. You have no idea how much I appreciate that.
I'll be going now.
All right, well, it was lovely to meet you. I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. 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 Oh, Pierce, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
He's gonna jump.
Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, obvious. Please just think this
Yeah.
through.
By safe room.
It could be the sin that seals all of our fates.
Yeah. She slips her tongue a little bit.
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Olgius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
Where's my mouse? Where did my mouse go? Hold on. Okay. Well, I have lost my mouse. I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Okay. Opius, can we talk?
Let me guess. You're going to lecture me on how suicide is a crime against the Empire.
No. You think you know what's going on here? You think. Okay. It's wrong and you know it. I was just going to ask you what's wrong. No, I think you have the right to die if you're suffering badly enough. Ugh. I was just going to ask you what's wrong.
I screwed up my life. That's what's wrong. I borrowed money, and when I couldn't pay it back, I wound up in debt bondage. I'll be stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis Malleolus for the rest of my life.
Okay.
I'm out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Oh, Pierce, no! I can't believe you went through with it. Oh, Lord. That poor lad.
Okay. His suicide didn't break the girl.
I suppose it means suicide isn't a sin under the Golden Rule. So I guess that means whichever god is responsible for it. It isn't mine.
Possibly.
I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I guess Malleolus will have to clean up the mess in his villa. It's of his own making, after all.
Okay.
And I'd best pray for poor Arceus.
Jump. I don't want to do that. What is going on? Why isn't... Okay, now I have my mouse back. That's good. Okay. I didn't want to jump.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your magistrate. Yes, thank you.
Are you Malleus?
Did you just leap into my villa from the balcony 100 feet above?
Yes.
That was
extremely he's got one blue eye, one green one.
clever. Well,
Probably so.
Life and limb to see me.
What do you think about the Golden Rule? Let me ask, what's your story first? How did you end up here? I think you...
I'm Malleolus, and if it wasn't for this interruption, I'd be practicing my victory speech for the election later today.
What will you do if you win?
Glad you asked. I'll finally restore freedom to this city, just as I've been promising. These good people have suffered long enough under Sentius's tyranny.
Okay. How will you do that?
By declaring there's no such thing as the Golden Rule. It's a children's fable exploited by Sentius to frighten us into submission. Wait, don't tell me you've fallen victim to that monstrous lie?
I'm pretty sure the Golden Rule is real.
Why? What credible evidence do you have for its existence?
We've seen other... What would it take to prove to you it's real? Books? Notes?
Surely, you're not one of those people who believes everything you read. As if a lie could be transformed into the truth by the simple act of writing it down.
That's not what I was saying. That's a weak argument.
True, but that is simply because you are mistaken.
Do you know of a way out of here?
I'm afraid not. We're stuck down here together, for better or worse. We're all going to have to make the best of it.
Okay. We're all... gonna have to make the best of it. So I'll be going now.
Trust you can see yourself out.
Yeah, I know what you think about the Golden Rule.
Through the door this time?
Sure.
There's a key just beside it.
Thank you. Thank you. I am delighted and deeply honored to have been elected your majesty.
So where do I go? Where's your door? Said there was a key right beside it. Maybe I need to... Oh. Unlock it, now we can get out of here. Okay. Okay, what are you doing, buddy? Hello, warrior.
What are you two talking about?
Sorry, what?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Sentius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him?
He wasn't trying to buy my vote.
What? You're throwing your lot in with him for free then? That's even worse. Mark my words, Malleolus is going to be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron.
Ah, jeez, dude. I don't care about the election.
Then stay out of it. Nobody likes Caput Murday foreigners interfering in an election.
Fine. Mind if I have some questions?
Connor.
What's your story?
My name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus, you go through me.
I went through his roof. Why are you dressed like a gladiator?
Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
Okay. Okay, but you're nowhere near an arena.
You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners.
So, what do you think about the golden rule?
It's gone on long enough, and Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected.
How's he going to do that?
He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because if I tell you, and it gets out, it'll give old man Sentius a chance to interfere in our plans. And we can't have that.
Fair enough.
We've
Sounds good.
already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem.
Okay. Hey, do you know a way out of here?
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah, this place will change. You won't even want to leave. You'll see.
Well, I'll be going now.
Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
If you say so. She was trying to help me.
Ave.
Hello, stranger.
A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch over you.
Oh, okay.
To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Never mind. Won't be getting much out of you, but let's talk to you, I guess. What's your story?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming.
Look, you said you worship Vesta. You worship Vesta. I ain't messing with you.
Wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, what is your story?
Fair enough. Sorry, what should I have done?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me.
Okay, there's somebody back there.
You would find a way to satisfy your curiosity, rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
So how'd you end up here?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen dragged me out of a river, unconscious, and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you.
It's not Sharon. Charon. It's an older name, but not uncommon from where I'm from.
I see. I wonder if... No.
I don't know. What are you going to say?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking.
Okay.
Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too?
Yes, I have.
I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember.
Yes, they wake up by the Tiber River and wander in. You're being a bit coy.
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
Okay, well now you need to explain what happened to Olivia. I may have already noticed the pattern.
Then what is it?
I mentioned river encounter with a stranger on Riverbank.
Yes, I also had such an encounter. What else?
And some people mentioned a river.
Yes, I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
That's all I noticed.
There are definitely some common threads there. But I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences. Keep asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet. Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
Okay. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us.
Yeah?
I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear it? It is rather
Metamorphoses is very long. Sure. Is there a short version? Why not? I have time.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home.
Okay.
They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, I think these men are gods in disguise. Immediately,
Right on, glad you're here.
begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god.
Yeah.
They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, you have passed our test. But
Might be
everyone
surprised.
else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish. So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together.
Okay, I need a vacation every once in a while.
Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Or perhaps it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing their tests and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are. Or, I agree.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Okay. I have been asking.
Notice anything? A pattern?
That's all I noticed.
There are definitely
Yeah. I will. We've seen all that. I'll be going now.
Back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
I will. See you later, lady. Okay, I'm not sure.
Oi! How did you get in there, you cheeky little sturkers? If I cop an earful from Malleolus, I'll be coming for you.
Isn't the great temple majestic?
He watches through their eyes.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
Andy, who's running Virgil?
Are you serious? This is an emergency. Are you going to help or not? Are you daft or just callous? If you don't stop him, we're all going to die.
I'm gonna die. Okay. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
He's got a bow. Did you hear that? I heard a voice whisper no.
What? We don't have time for this. I have to go.
Never mind. I don't know why I said that. So that's going to be 2 people here that are dead.
The shrine is collapsing.
Oops. Well.
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh Fabia, why did you have to go in there?
What is this?
Sweet girl! I can't believe she is dead. Fabia, I mean. She walked into that empty shrine, and the next moment she is lying dead under a pile of rubble. The gods are cruel and unjust. She was like a daughter to me. I'm sorry, friend. It's not right for me to lay my burden upon you.
He listens with their ears, does he? Ugh. Hey, Mr. Assassin.
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
I don't know, Quintius.
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quinctius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live. But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest. Is that understood?
Got it!
Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place?
We're just a small community of strangers who wound up here by accident.
Small community. I was told Quintius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
Wait. You got the wrong idea. We're not
You say
cultists.
that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
I'm still looking for a way out.
So you admit you're not allowed to leave?
No. It's not that we're not allowed to leave. We physically can't leave. There's no way out.
Threatening me is not going to help you.
Ugh.
In any case, that sounds an awful lot like a cult to me. And I saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
Not quite, but not a mantra. It's a warning.
A distinction without a difference.
If you say so.
You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
They were once people who were turned to gold as punishment.
You lot are practicing human sacrifice too. You people disgust me.
You're distorting what I said.
Yes, because I'm the real villain here. It's all clear to me now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become. However,
Okay.
you still have a chance to redeem yourself by telling me where Quintius is. Do not waste it.
All right, so what can you tell me about Quintius?
Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burned half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process.
How do you know it's a part? What? How do you know? Hardly means he did it.
Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says?
No.
There? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome like he does?
No.
You do not. This is your last chance. Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
I have no idea who or where he is.
Then you're of no use.
Yes.
Do you have any last words?
You said you wouldn't kill me if I told you the truth.
And there's a simple explanation for that. I lied.
Thank you, Waverly.
But if you want to know the truth before you die, here it is. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates. And I can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
Oh.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Come on, come on. Is that gonna start everything over? Back through the wormhole. Yeah. All right. All right. Relief depicting a great circular portal and Proserpina, the Roman goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. Okay. I'll save it. Right there. This will be good. We'll come back. It'll be a couple of weeks before I get back to this game. I'll do that, but I'm gonna save it. Do a big save now. Yeah, right there. That's cool. We're just gonna do it right there. All right, and then we're back tomorrow. We got some SCP stuff to talk about. The Ouroboros cycle. Friday, Trey will be taking care of business with the Vampire Survivors. What are you doing, Trey? You keep changing stuff. I think you told me. But then we'll be back Monday. We will have him on Monday. Be playing chaining down some monsters and giving them guns. Okay. Pal World. Okay. Pal World. Trey will be playing Pal World on Friday. Do that. Then Monday, we'll be back with the MMO on Monday. I won't be here the rest of that week. I'll be here Monday. Won't be here. That Trey's gonna do Tuesday through Friday. He's got some things planned. Not sure what he's gonna do. So Wednesday we probably won't be having a stream. And then after that week, I'll be back for the MMO Monday. And then I won't be there for the rest of the streams that week, which Trey has more stuff planned. So, having said that, I'll quit this. Do you want to leave? Yes. Having said that, until next time, I've been Rungren, and this has been the Full Spectrum. And please, always remember to enjoy the full spectrum that the Forgotten City has to offer. Good evening. Have a good night, y'all.